love eating mango, except it gets in your teeth and is stubborn to get out. I am sitting in our new house. We don't officially own it yet. Our closing date is until later in April, but the seller was kind enough to let us have buyer possession of the house, which is basically just renting it out until our closing date. It's crazy. We're 22, we're super young, and we are able to own our first house. It's just so exciting. We're so blessed. The military benefits though. Without these benefits, there would be no way that we would be able to get this house. So we're blessed. We're so excited to be here. Jacksonville, North Carolina is stealing my heart one day at a time. Our location is beautiful. I love the surrounding area. I love how we're so close to the beach, but we live in the forest. And the weather is, the rumors are true. It is definitely bipolar. The mornings are my favorite time. I wake up to the birds chirping right next to my window every single morning, and I love it. I used to never be a morning person, but mornings are seriously my favorite part of the day now. The sun is actually out in the mornings most of the time. It's so peaceful. The air is clean. You hear nature all around you. And then during the day, it starts to get the cloudy, moody, I want to rain, but it's not going to rain type. One definite change for me is the humidity though. It's not horrible. It's probably gonna be way worse in the summertime. That's when it's gonna be really hot and muggy here. This video is really gonna be an experiment for me. I need to relearn my makeup routine. What used to look amazing on my skin in California is not really doing my skin justice now here with the humidity. In California, I was combination skin. I don't even want to say I was combo oily. I really just was like the perfect combination skin. These areas naturally produce more oils for me. It was always containable. I didn't even really have to reapply powder out in California. I would have makeup on for 10 hours and my face would still look fine. So, North Carolina, I try the same makeup routine. My skin looks awful. Just awful. Within an hour of cleaning my face, I have massive oils already produced in my T-zone. It's pissing me off, okay? So I'm definitely oily now living in this weather. I love my dewy foundations, but I might have to go to a matte. I'm gonna try different techniques with different halves of my face, the two halves of my face that I have. Primer, I'm gonna have to look for another primer. This primer is good, but in this weather, in this condition of humidity, I'm gonna need something much stronger. I'm gonna use this on both halves of my face. I don't know if that sound grosses me out or makes me so happy. I do have my Cetaphil Derma Oil Control moisturizer on. However, I thought I liked it. I don't think I like it. It's supposed to be oil controlling, but when I put it on, it feels oily. I want to look for another moisturizer. I really think I just need a whole new makeup and skincare collection. Okay, so that mattified me. Lovely. Yes, that feels a lot better. I do this a lot where I hear a song for the first time. I'm like, that's awful. That is awful. Who heard this song and actually let it be released? And then after like the fourth time I hear it, I really like it. Every single one of Julia Michaels' songs is like this for me. Her anxiety song, like when I first heard it, I was like, this is horrible. This is so bad. And then now it's like, I like it a lot. Deep, I actually did not like that one. I liked that from the beginning. She's a good artist. It's just you gotta give her songs a chance, or a third or fourth chance before you start to like it. On a good note, I haven't had one bug bite yet. They look like mosquitoes to me, but Daniel says they're crane flies. They're everywhere. I haven't gotten a bug bite yet, and we've been here for almost 3 weeks. I don't know if I am blessed. I don't even think it's technically matte, but it's more matte than what I have, so I'm gonna say it's matte. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the right side of my face and then just powder my face like I normally would. On this side, I'm doing my favorite combo of the Essence foundation and the Do You Too Faced foundation. And then I'm going to bake my face with a buttload of powder on this side. I'm just trying different ways to stay matte and oilless. It's crazy, man. I already feel like oil's peeking through again. I really do need a new primer. I'm gonna use the Morphe contour and sculpting sponge. I'm gonna go ahead and do the side of my face first. Do that much. That's probably, I don't know. I always think it's too much, then I put it on and end up needing more, so. We are just focusing on this face. Just doing a little on the side of my nose. The foundation, I think, did something good for my pores. This foundation is good, but it's never been the love of my life. It's never been super full coverage for me. It's never been like my go-to foundation, as sad as that sounds. So we're gonna flip over the sponge and put the other foundation combo on this side, the clean side. We'll do a little pumpy and just a little squirt of that one. Like, look at the different colors. It's so fun. Oh, that Do You foundation. It makes me so happy. I love the smell of it. Also, my brows aren't done. I just dyed them last night, or I tinted them, I should say. I should do it more often. I really like how it just speeds up my brow routine. Or sometimes I don't even have a brow routine when I tint my brows. I do it myself. I just use the Just for Men beard dye. I use that instead of like hair dye because it's known to be safe for your face, obviously. If it's beard dye, so I use it for my brows. I can do a video on it if you guys would like. On first application, I just love this side so much more. It just looks so much more natural. You can still see some pores, but to me, I think you can see more of them on this side. I can tell that this side is more matte. I can just feel that it's more dry. It already feels not oily, but I can tell in an hour this is gonna separate so bad. It's so bad, it breaks my heart. This is a kind of new concealer. I've used it a lot and I love it. I love it so much. It's by Makeup Revolution. They're just killing it with the concealers, man. It's a fast base concealer for the vibe of the Maybelline Age Rewinding Concealer. So it has the same applicator. I love it. I love it so much. You just twist this up and concealer comes out. I'm gonna use this concealer for both sides of my face. This concealer isn't matte, but it's not dewy or radiant at all. It's just like a natural finish concealer. This is in the shade C3. This might be a little bit too dark for me right now. We're fine. I'm gonna drag this down a little bit more though to try to cover up these pores. Take the tip of the beauty sponge and blend this in. A little bit of spot concealing. Okay, so here's how we're looking. Both sides look really good. They do. This side still has a shine to it. I don't know if that was because of the concealer, if that was there before. For powder, I do not have a set baking powder. Just because I never really baked, I had no need to bake. I wasn't a fan of baking, but I feel like now baking is going to need to be a part of my new life. Okay, so the best baking powder I have is not cruelty-free. I'm so sorry. I know I have to buy new powders, but it's the Coty Airspun Loose Translucent Powder. This powder is really good. I really wish it was cruelty-free, but it's not. I'm gonna go ahead and bake this side of my face, and then I'm going to powder this side of my face like I normally would. Oh my gosh, I'm baking. Who am I? It just instantly, like, I feel tight. Now I'm going to powder like I normally would. I'm going to flip over the sponge, dabble in there. This side I don't do a lot. I do one dip for my eyelid and under my eyes. Any excess powder I might bring down. Put it on my chin. And then up here. And that's it. I don't have to wipe away any powder. I just blend it in with a sponge and then it's good to go. It won't be realistic for me to bake my face every morning for 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna let this on for another minute or so. If you guys don't know, when I said earlier that this is the best baking powder I have, there's different powders to just set my under eyes, to set my whole face, and then for baking. The formula is just different of these powders. Sometimes I like to use a really loose brightening powder for under my eyes. For the whole face, if I wanted to set my whole face, I would do more so a powder like this to set my whole face. And then to bake, if I had an actual baking powder, the powder is usually more fluffy and thick for baking. I think baking powder mostly resembles flour. It's just that really more fluffy consistency. But I don't have a baking powder, so this is the closest I have to one. Let's go ahead and wipe off this powder. I might bake more often. This is the lightly powdered side, and then the heavily powdered baking side. I don't know if you guys can see a difference. Can you see a difference? I just look more airbrushed and poreless on this side. I have no creasing. That's insane. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I just love applying bronzer. Everything about it. It's so soothing to me. So far putting on bronzer, I think it is blending better on the baking side. However, I'm having to dip in a lot more to get the same pigmentation as this side. This was maybe like 2 times going in with the brush. I'm on my 4th time over here. So I think with less powder, it definitely sticks more. Bronzer onto my nose. For blush, I've been getting really back into this blush. It's just, I can't go overboard with it because it's such a light shade. I just love the sheen it gives my cheeks, and the color is just really spot on for my skin tone. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Blush, and this is in the shade Natural Glow. I love the Milani baked blushes. They are by far one of the best blushes out there. This blush is just, it's so pretty. It's so beautiful. Love how subtle the color is. It just has that instant sheen. Gives your cheeks. So beautiful. I am still going to spray my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. It's one of my favorite setting sprays, so I want to see what happens to each half of my face. Ooh, man, like both sides are looking really good. I really can't see a big difference between the two. Can you guys see a difference? I still think I may like this side a titch more. My skin in this area in particular looks more flawless. Ooh, look at that. My smile line is already kind of creasing, whereas this side is not. This side just does look a little bit more airbrushed and a lot more full coverage. So does this mean I can still use my glowy foundations? I just gotta bake over them? That's looking stunning. I'm gonna do check-ins throughout the day. I'm curious to see which side holds up the longest. I'll probably do at least 2 check-ins, so I'll see you in a little bit. So it is 5:15. It has almost been 4 hours since we first applied our makeup. So far, I'm actually really surprised that it has not broken up. Like, really surprised. By the way, this eye look will be on my Instagram. It's just a small mini tutorial. I'll leave my profile name on the screen, and it'll also be down in the description box for you. Let's get really close and personal. I can see that my oils have poked through, but not horribly. Both sides of my face look really good. The pores in this area still look like they're more filled in than on this side. That and the creasing. I've noticed I still don't have creasing on the side that we baked. That's insane, but I guess that's the purpose of baking. My smile line and acne spots are coming through the Tarte foundation. Like I said before, the Tarte foundation has never been my favorite. So yeah, that's the first check-in. I'm really surprised at how well my skin is doing. It has been only 4 hours and I will be going outside now. So that is going to be the true test against humidity and my oils popping out even more. I want to do a final check-in before it gets dark because I am solely relying on natural lighting for this video. So I'll check back in with you one more time. Okay, this is my last check-in. It is now 7:15. So math, 6 hours I've worn this. My lipstick is totally faded because we just had dinner. I am really impressed on how well my face did today. We went to Walmart. I was outside a little bit. I am really surprised. This side still is, I think, the winner of this experiment. I was not expecting loving the outcome of baking. I mean, it always looks flawless, but I always thought baking would suck out too much moisture out of my skin, but I guess living in a more humid area, I don't need that extra moisture. I've just noticed I've lost some coverage in these areas where there's my oils. So glad I did this experiment. I'm still, of course, gonna test and dabble into what is gonna be my favorite new routine. Thank you guys so much for watching and being a part of my little experiment for myself. This actually was really helpful for me. Thanks so much for being a part of this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.